All right, people. So we're going to begin the show. I put out a request for people to hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. We'll start once we see the likes start to move. Okay. So we'll wait until we get some likes, some thumbs up. Put that in the chat. Okay, there's four people watching. Okay. And there was a thumbs up even before the four people were watching. So it should be when it says 5 thumbs up, then we'll get started. In the meantime, we'll play some native music. Okay. And we'll be back. I'll put that up on the screen. Okay. So we'll play some music in the meantime, and we'll get started once those likes go up. This is ridiculous. It don't cost you a dime. All right, let's see. Let me look at the thumbs up. Okay. One more thumbs up. Okay, if we can get one more thumbs up, we get one more thumbs up, we'll start. I shouldn't have to beg like this. I try to be nice, during these lives and stuff like that. And, I usually don't say anything about it, but, a lot of times a whole bunch of people watch the videos and the ratio between the likes and the people viewing the video is not, it doesn't match up. So, let's do the right thing. Come on now. We need one more thumbs up and we'll start. This is going to be the mode of operations from now on. I see other YouTube content creators do the same thing, and I see why they do it. Because I'm not getting paid for doing this, so the least you could do is thumbs up the video. This is not monetized, even though they're putting commercials on my show. Why am I not seeing any money for it? Can they do that? One more thumbs up, and we'll start the show. Again, I don't get paid for this. Neither none of us are getting paid for this. Okay. We're doing this as a labor of love. You know, let's get the thumbs up and then we'll start. I see some people dropping off. Good. Drop off. You don't want to hit the like button. Just drop off. You don't need to be here. We don't need you. Matter of fact, let me put that in the chat. If you can't hit the like button, please drop off. We don't need you. This is ridiculous. We'll start, like I said, we'll start when y'all start hitting the like. I see some people, are hitting it, okay? But, come on. Like I said, I'm not getting paid for this. Do the right thing, okay? All right, so we have enough now. There's whoever is the one that's not hitting the button is probably a hater. But anyway, we can start now. Okay. So, greetings, everyone. Osio, welcome to the Red Road East. I'm your host, Fierce Truth Seeker. Okay. And very excited about doing this particular show. Oh, wait a minute. Doc, you're not backstage. If you can hear me, you were backstage, but you dropped off somehow. If you can come back in, but until she comes in, she probably having a technical issue. But anyway, let's get right into it. So this particular show was inspired by my pops taking a native DNA test. Okay. And so this particular DNA test was recommended to me by Dr. Fatou Diarra. And myself, I don't shy from DNA. Okay. A lot of people don't understand it. That's why a lot of people get turned off by it. But me, I'm a decoder, and those of us who decode, we don't run away from science. We run to it and we attack it. Okay. So, because a lot of people don't know how to decode information, they shy away from it and they don't deal with it. Okay. It's just like any other science, you have to know how to break this stuff down. I know how to break stuff down. I know how to look at things, analyze, and of course, these things were used to exclude those of us who are of higher melanation. And then even when you dig deeper, it's even used to exclude some of a lighter melanation, a lesser melanation, when you really dig deep into it. And the doc is going to break that down too. So it's being used against all of us. You understand? Anyway, but particularly those of us of a higher melanation, but everybody. But as you all know, I'm deep into genealogy, and genealogy is an ongoing process. Okay, it never ends. It never ends, because when you look at a family tree and you see how over the generations the lineage expands when you do your parents, your grandparents, your great grandparents. It grows exponentially. Okay, so there's a lot of ancestry to account for. Okay, and unless your family had, unless they were like all of the grandparents were doing genealogy, you're not going to be able to keep up. Even with that, it's hard to keep up with everybody. Okay, luckily my elders in the family really passed on the information, and I wouldn't say that it was passed on to everyone per se, but me, I always had a very inquisitive mind, so I would ask a lot of questions, you know. But the information was always there, was talked about in the family. Okay. Um, Before I continue, Doc, you're not connected. Let me see if I can call the doc right quick and see what's going on. Uh, where is that phone? Hopefully she's listening. So if you're listening, Doc, wait, let me hit her up in Facebook. Give me a second. Let me tell her, Doc, you are not backstage. Okay, I just sent her a message in Facebook Messenger. Okay, she's messaging me back. Okay, she said her husband's coming to help. Okay, great. All right. So in the meantime, yeah, I'll continue. So anyway, we well, you know, myself and a couple other family members, you know, always talking about genealogy and the family. And for the sake of this show in particular, we're always talking about the indigenous ancestry. Okay. Like it was something that was always known. So my father taking the DNA test, it didn't reveal that we had indigenous ancestry. We always knew that we had the indigenous ancestry. All it did was confirm what we already know. And after taking this test, it expanded big time what we already knew. Okay. And the doc tonight, she's gonna go ham. I'm telling you, she is gonna go ham. Osio, cousin, how's it going? Yeah, she's gonna go ham. Okay, so I hope y'all stay tuned. Okay, now while the doc is trying to get, and also this particular DNA test, it confirmed the migrations of my family, and we're not going to be able to get into my whole family because I come from a very, very, very big family, very big family. Okay, so we're only going to be able to look at maybe like 3 family lines today. Okay, tonight. So let's see. So in the meantime, let me read a document. Give me 1 second. Let's see here. I'm gonna read something. This is I'm gonna open up with this because it's going to parallel what the doc is gonna be breaking down. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. Family. Okay, this is the one I'm looking for. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I wonder if I can download this. Let me see. Download. Yeah, download message. Okay. Okay, good. And let's see. Give me 1 second. I'm opening this particular file. Let's see. second. Okay. Let's see. Google, continue. Oh my goodness, they're gonna take me through all of this. I don't even. They're gonna take me through all that. I'll just go right to the email then. This doesn't make sense. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, now let me share the screen. Okay, so while we're waiting for the doc, I'm gonna bring on Dad. Hey, hey.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Good, and you?
Good. You can hear me, see me?
Of course.
All right.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
just give me a second. Open up something here. Okay. So I'm gonna read something, and let's see. Share screen. Let's see. What's going on here? Come on. They don't make you do anything easy here. Come on now. Give me 1 second. Okay, now what? They don't make anything simple nowadays. Everything is
Complicated.
complicated. My goodness.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Can't even share the screen.
Hmm. Now I have my desktop open and my phone. So you think that might have anything to do with it?
With what? No, no, no.
Oh, okay.
Give me 1 second, viewers. I'm trying to get past a technical issue. I don't even know what this thing is asking me. I can't even get out of here. Let's hit cancel. Okay, let me see if I can try again. Let's see. Image file, video file, slides, share screen. It's easiest with 2 monitors. Screen sharing works better. Some screens let you share audio. I don't need to share no audio. Okay. Okay. Let's see the email. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, share. Okay. Okay, so here we go. All right, so now what we're looking at here, and I can't take credit for this particular document because this was This was done by someone of the family on Ancestry. Okay, so it's their research, it's not my research. On Ancestry, they allow you to download document. Oh, here's the doc right here. Okay, she's in.
Good.
Okay, Doc, you're in now.
Okay, you can hear me?
Yeah, got you.
Oh, oh yeah, I was having some problems there.
Okay, so I'm just getting ready to read a piece of this document here. I'm not going to read the whole thing, just the important part.
Okay.
So let's see here. So, second. Make this full screen. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this says here the Borrow, Heath, Hubert, Llewellyn, Wheat, Searcy, Chappelle family connections of prominent Southern plantation families. Now, before doing further family research, I had no idea that there was slavery in my particular family outside of rumors of an ancestor who was enslaved from Jamaica on my father's side on one of his lines. Okay. Outside of that, I had no idea that there was slavery in the family. Um, so now, about a year ago, I came across this particular document here and also getting through a genealogical um, roadblock. Okay, I was able to make this discovery. So it says here many of the former enslaved African Americans of central and southern Georgia families in I don't think he meant to say in can trace their direct roots to the Heath, Barrow, Ruffin, Hubert, Burnley, Searcy. That's my line, one of my lines, the Searcy, Chapman, Gunn, Frazier, Barksdale, Blunt, Wright, Persons, Peterson, Pitts,
Pitt's my
Ellison.
family.
Oh wow. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was
Wow.
going to surprise you with that.
Wow. We made it. Because
Wow.
it said all of these families intermarried. Uh,
Hmm.
Ellison, Kitchens, Adams, Lockhart, Drake, Matthews. That's our line. Also Matthews, Rousseau, Brinkley, Beasy, and other allied families whose roots were heavy in Lincoln, Wilkes, Warren, Burke, Hancock, Baldwin, Monroe, Macon, Talbot, Taylor, Bibb, Stewart, Dodge, Dooley, Pike, and Putnam counties. These counties specifically can be attributed to the plantation owning families, as the majority of these counties are centrally located in Georgia, where migration began from Halifax, Edgecombe, Northampton counties in North Carolina through the Edgefield district of South Carolina and into East Georgia. In addition, westward expansion took root in the 1820s, 30s, and 40s, and with the aid of the expanding Georgia, many of these families were intertwined with generations of relatives marrying into each family. So all these families have a connection of intermarriage, uh,
Mm.
and says of the more prominent families is that of the Borough, Heath, and Barksdale families, with all three having early Virginia colony roots and migrating south into North Carolina and then further into Georgia immediately following the Revolutionary War, receiving healthy land grants and land lottery allotments in Wilkes County and Burke County. Wilkes County was rather large at the time in the late 1790s and later help from the present day East Central Georgia counties along the Savannah River. Other significant families include the Searcy, South family, Thweet, Florlin, and Ivy families, which were intertwined heavily among the Heath and Barrow families. Because of the significant family ties, many of the enslaved were passed around and through generations within the same families and often given to the plantation daughters as dowry gifts prior to marriage or bequeathed in wills generations after generations. Many of the plantation owning families also served as witnesses to one another's legal transactions to include wills, land transactions, debts, and other and let debts and business actions. And many of these were not just recorded in state and county records, but often well documented in personal family papers, and many still remain with the families today. And today, with a hand few personal papers having been donated to universities and libraries across the nation. Okay, so that's the crux of what I wanted to uh, read as an introduction to. And there's also one more. Give me 1 second. Well, that's it. Let me see. Give me 1 second. There's a piece of another one that I wanted to read. Mhm. Give me 1 second. Yeah, tonight it's just gonna really be off the chain. It's gonna really be off the chain. I'm telling you. Okay, well, actually, that's the crux of it. So we'll begin with the presentation now. And there was another one that I wanted to read too, but maybe later on. Okay, so Doc,
Yes.
man, I tell you, I really been waiting to get you back on the show because I've been told by more than one person. They said, "Man, you got to get the Doc back on there. That show there that she did, that was the best show right there."
It's making me blush.
That was the best show. So I'm really excited. And Dad, I know you're excited once you got that info there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, how do you feel about finding out that we're connected to tribes all the way from Canada to South America to the Caribbean?
Well, it's kind of mind blowing to me because when I was growing up, I only connected the Native American thing to Blackfoot and Cherokee because I had them immediately as my grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I always thought it was other stuff involved in there.
You know, we don't see you in the screen, Dad.
You don't?
No, you got to move your you got to move you got to move your phone over.
Okay, I'm on my desktop. Can you
Okay.
see me now?
No, all we see is a wall.
That's it?
Yeah.
Um, wow. Let me see. How can I do this?
Can you go back on your phone?
I can. It's much smaller. I can't really see anything on the phone, but I can try.
There you
I can
go.
try.
There you go. Now we see you.
Okay, so I'm on the phone now.
Yeah, that's much better.
I don't see the doc.
No, no, she's her screen is she's got her avatar up.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
So
So you can see me. So you can see me.
yeah,
Yes.
you were saying?
Okay, so like I said, I only connected Blackfoot and Cherokee because that's what my grandfather was, and he was a tall man with he always wore a long ponytail that was silver gray, and he used to wear these moccasin shoes, and he always carried a pouch that was filled up with silver dollars.
Mm.
And so all of the other revelations that I'm getting is really mind blowing to me. You know, it really is
Very much so. Very
amazing.
so so now you I know that you always had a whole lot of stories about them growing up, you know.
Oh
And
yeah,
you know, I used to be like, wow, I wish I could have met them, you know.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they that Cherokee and that Blackfoot, they were married, and they were both so mean until they always clashed with each other, you know.
Wow.
Nobody was going to budge,
Mm.
and so eventually they broke up before they wound up annihilating each other.
Wow.
Yeah, they had these hot tempers, you know.
Mm, mm,
And I remember one time my grandmother Josephine, she my mother questioned something that she said, and they were living in these a house. It was called a shotgun house, where it was just straight back, you know. And there was this porch that was kind of open, and the rooms were like to the left of the porch, and there was a bathroom all the way to the end of the porch, and my grandmother picked up a tomahawk, and my mother said had questioned her about something, and she threw the tomahawk, and my mother was just barely able to duck to the left in one of the rooms, and that tomahawk hit the bathroom door, which was straight ahead, and it lodged inside of the door.
mm.
So my mom got lucky,
Wow.
and I don't think she ever questioned anything again.
Mm. Wow. That's deep.
Oh yeah.
That's deep.
And my grandfather was just as mean. because I remember one time he used to like to walk everywhere he went. He walked, and he got behind one of those giant billboards on the side of the road, and I guess he was getting out of the sun, or I don't know. But anyway, these two cops came along and asked him, say, "What are you doing back there?" You know. Oh yeah, I remember. He said, "I'm taking a damn leak. What do you think?" You know. And they threatened him and said they were going to beat him. And he said, "If you put your hand on me," he said, I'll ride your ass like the Long Ranger rode Silver." You know. And
And what
and
did you?
they left him alone. You know.
Wow.
Because he meant every word that he was saying, you know.
Mm,
Oh yeah.
wow.
And
So
he told my father one time, because my father and my mom had a little spat, and there was a little pushing and shoving, and they used to call my mom Red, because she was light complexion and had red hair. And he told my father, he said, "Let me tell you something, son." He said, if you ever put your GD hand on Red again," he say, "I will use whatever weapon he had." He said, "I'll use this on you." Probably was a tomahawk, you know.
mm,
And
wow.
I don't think that ever happened again. A lot
That's
of stories, man.
interesting. Uh,
Oh yeah.
now, Doc, you're gonna. It's gonna be real interesting because what you're gonna do is you're gonna be tying in what we did with the reading of the family migration. That's gonna tie in with the whole DNA.
Yes.
Now, I would say, or should I? I would ask, which which file would you like for me to open up first?
The ancestry DNA, I think, is good to start with that because there it shows his communities. No, it actually it's yours, but it divides your mother and father, and we can zone in
Okay,
on your dad's.
okay. Let's see here.
The screenshots that I sent you.
Okay, 1 second. Which one you want first, mom or dad?
No, it should be your dad because the focus is on him.
Okay.
And it would be the one that says parent one. He's parent one.
Yeah. Yes. Give me 1 second, everybody. I'm just pulling this up.
Okay.
Yeah. File. Okay. Can you see it there, Doc?
Yes, that would be it. So Ancestry DNA has something called journeys. Before, it used to be called community, African American communities. That's what they called it before. Okay, and it's important. Now they call it journeys. In my honest opinion, I think that there was enough dialogue about the implications of the communities with regard to our tribal lineages, and there was a correlation. As a matter of fact, a few years ago, there was a sister named American Harris who did a YouTube showing the connection, and Tyrone Lewis Cannon, the great Tyrone Lewis Cannon, co-signed that
Mm.
because the genetic communities are based on shared lineage between a group of people within a given area, and that goes back up to 300 years. And we must know that a good portion of the enslaved in North America was indeed the indigenous people. It doesn't mean it was exclusively them, but they were the first and the foremost in terms of being enslaved before anybody else started coming in. So a great deal of the ancestral composition and of the lineage of these various communities that they now label journey involves the lineage of tribes that were enslaved. So when we look at your dad, who's labeled parent one, we see here coastal Carolina African Americans, and we'll see the map that correlates with that. Now, if you look at the outline, you will see that the tribes that are in these areas would correlate with the tribes that he's receiving at the top of his list. Okay, and you will see the same thing for Central, Eastern South Carolina, the Florence area, and then, of course, early South Carolina, and then the PD region. Okay, so when I don't want to go too ahead of myself, but I know that, interestingly enough, at the top of his list of native matches was Saponi, Siouan, various Siouan tribes, and the Blackfoot was a common name that many of our ancestors referred to themselves, and that those were Siouan people, and
Yeah.
it was various Siouan tribes, particularly from the area of Virginia, taking up half of the area we now call Virginia, the state of Virginia, going down throughout the southeast into the Mississippi basin down into Louisiana. And so you will find elders from our community going back that would speak of being Blackfoot. And that's what they were really referring to. So if
Yeah.
you there, you see PD region, African Americans, well, the PD tribe are also a Siouan people. And we'll see other evidence that points to that as we move on. So these are his main tribal areas, okay? The main ones. Of course, as we move on, we'll see there are additional areas his ancestors came from. But in terms of his main constituents, it would be these areas right here.
Wow.
That's deep. Yeah, because that's what back in the early 2000s, I had I was given. I can't take all of the credit. I had been given a document by Firebird Grey Wolf, who's my godmother and co-host, and it was having to do with the question of the Southern Blackfoot. And I took that information and did some further research. And yeah, what a lot of people refer to as Blackfoot in the South was actually Saponi, which was a sub. They're a Siouan um, branch of the Sioux people. So yeah. It's right on point. Was there another? What was the other document you want? Was there another one to this?
Yes.
Let me see. 1 second. Let me click this one off.
So now they switched the term from African American communities to journeys. So it sort of gives this, yeah, you know, it's a play on words. It gives this, there's an implication that, you know, you weren't really, there was no real origin in these places you were passing through. So that's the implication, but that's not true. It's just that quite a few of us became wise that there was a deeper element to these communities that goes back.
Right.
Right.
So now you're just passing through on a journey.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see now the next one. Second. Share screen. Share screen. Image file. Okay, here's the next one.
Yes, okay. So these are the closest, these are the journeys of one's closest matches for your listening audience that participates with Ancestry DNA. They give you the journeys, which really are your communities, your main communities. Then they give you the journeys of your closest matches. Now, the reason why that's also important, because you will see that the journeys, which are communities of your closest matches, also has some bearing on your lineage. You will find that when you look at the list of your top tribes, they tend to correlate with the journeys, your main journeys. And when you look at the tribes that are a little less of your ancestry or a little further down the list, they correlate with the matches, additional communities or journeys, your closest matches. So if you look here, you would see Georgia, Northeast Florida, Northeast Mississippi, the Ohio River Valley African Americans, Georgia, Northeast Piedmont, Columbia, and Charleston. And when we look at his DNA matches and the ethnic affiliations, tribal affiliations, you will see it has connections to that as well. All right. It's just that his main tribes would have come from the first slide. So we have to pay attention to not only the main journeys or communities that they assign to us, also pay attention to the journeys of your closest matches, because in inherent is some lineage also in those areas as well. And what I found out as well, some of it is influenced by what took place in recent history with the intra-American slave trade, and also what took place, as you demonstrated, with families moving from the Virginia, Carolina area, Virginia, North Carolina area, down further south into the Georgia, Mississippi Basin, Alabama area. Yes, it has an influence, but there's also some influence before all of this, before Europeans, as we know, arrived. There was trading going on between the tribes. So you will also see that influence as well in these journeys of our closest matches. So there's more than one influence happening there.
Mm-hmm.
Like you, for example, the West Tennessee African Americans, that tends to correlate with Chickasaw lineage. You can see there at the bottom. And I understand with Saponis, particularly out of the North Carolina, Virginia area, there was trade going on with the Chickasaws in the 1700s, and they absorbed a lot of them. So that's not uncommon to see that West Tennessee African Americans, because that was also an area where the Chickasaws settled.
And then they're later going to see that reflected in the DNA.
Exactly.
And because basically they're going to see where all of this here, where that whole paper trail that we're looking at matches up perfectly with the DNA.
Exactly. And a lot of the Cherokees were a large area. They weren't just, they really covered a great portion of the Southeast. So you will find for many of us, when we take that DNA test, we all get a certain amount of Cherokee, but some people get a lot of it. And he had a lot of it, not to jump ahead, but I noticed that a lot of the areas that his ancestors come out of tend to be that zone. When you look at Georgia, the Alabama, even though you have various other tribes there as well, apparently a lot of his lineage came out of the Cherokee areas as well.
Now, let me ask you, Doc, why native DNA as opposed to 23andMe, Ancestry, African Ancestry, etc.?
Native DNA uses two techniques. It uses something called STR, which is short tandem repeats, and it uses a technique called SNAP, which is single nucleotide polymorphism. Now, in traditional DNA testing, the standard is to use SNAP. And basically, the snaps don't change rapidly. It takes a long time to change in terms of polymorphisms. So it's very good for making assessments over ancient ancestry and large scale population structure. So you can see your genetic similarity to large populations like Asians, West Africans, East Africans. Those are large populations. But STRs, they actually have a high mutation rate. So they're good up until like maybe 500 generations. And they're strong when it comes to assessing recent relatedness. So it's actually quite good for seeing how one is related to tribes, because these tribes, right, are recently created. They're not ancient. And it's composed of people who are endogamous. So they have a certain type of allele pattern that can be recognized. And so therefore it's a way of seeing how one relates to a family. That's really what a tribe is, an extended family network, a kinship of people. So that's the advantage that it gives. Whereas a snap test will not be able to tell you that. It may perhaps just give you something like a Eastern woodland pattern, an Eastern woodland native pattern. But there are many families within the Eastern woodland native pattern. So that's where the STR has the advantage.
Mm.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
What is STR?
It stands for short tandem repeat.
Oh, okay. Short tandem repeat. Okay.
Short tandem repeat. STR versus SNAPs, SNPs,
Okay.
single nucleotide polymorphisms.
Okay. Wow.
Mm. And now I recently was speaking to someone from the Native community, and they recently took an African ancestry DNA test. What do you feel about African ancestry, that particular company?
Mm. I'll try to be nice. Let me just say this. I have a cousin who is a Nottoway, and she's a Nottoway via her maternal line. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And she took that test and they gave her an African tribe. Now, you cannot determine tribe based on a haplogroup because multiple haplogroups occur all over the continent, and also they're found all over the Americas. So I have my own particular mitochondrial DNA haplogroup, and I was
I call it the cutest fit, yeah, right? Exactly.
That's funny. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, that's funny.
I'm going to be doing a show just on that in the very near future.
I have put it this way. I'll answer by saying I was given an African tribe based on my mitochondrial DNA, and I looked on Reddit and saw that somebody else had my same exact assigned mitochondrial DNA and was given another tribe that was nowhere adjacent to my tribe, not even neighbors. You just cannot. I mean, multiple mitochondrial DNAs occur within the same region and all over the continent. So there's just no such thing as you belong to a tribe based on mitochondrial DNA or Y haplogroup assignments. We're talking about wide stretches of areas. You cannot do that. However, with short tandem repeats, STR testing, you can do it. And even within the family of mitochondrial DNA and Y haplogroups, there can be fine base differences. So let's say if you have E1B1A 8A or E1B1A 7A, it doesn't end with that. The E1B1A 7A, for example, over in the eastern part of the United States will have certain terminal base differences within a certain region that's different than the one that's found in Nigeria because it's been here so long. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't use that to determine a tribe when you have multiple groups that have it, and it can become different on an acid when you start talking about a base change, allele change, because of tiny mutations, even though it may fall under the same group. You just can't do that.
Right.
Interesting.
That's just one lineage. You have multiple different mitochondrial DNAs, and they all belong to the same tribe. So you would need a test to look at allele frequency, the same frequencies that are occurring within the same population, that can determine it, because every family has their own allele frequency. It's like a resemblance. Just like if I see you and your cousins and your siblings or whoever, I'll say, oh, you guys look alike. It's the same thing with population genetics. They have their allele frequency. You can't do that with mitochondrial DNA or Y haplogroups. You just can't do that. How do you determine a tribe? That means everybody's coming from the same woman?
Wow. That's deep.
Right. My mitochondrial DNA is found every place. I even saw a young lady who said that she was not Aztec. She was a Zapotec from Mexico. She had my mitochondrial DNA. I've seen my mitochondrial DNA from Angola to Madagascar to South Africa. You know, you name it, I've seen it.
Wow.
So I hope I answered that question.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. And people, you know, people take that and they think it's gospel truth, you know. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Opinions.
So which one did you want next?
I think I showed a map. There was the map for your dad.
Okay. 1 second.
Right. So this is the map for your dad. This is basically showing his communities, which they now label journeys. And I have to tell you, this is, you know, for people who have roots out of the deeper South, I tend to see this where it's basically the whole span of the Southeast almost. And that's because it's just pretty much what you read earlier. You had these families leaving Virginia, North Carolina, and they moved further south. And then, of course, they would intermarry with the indigenous population that was further south. But if you look, you can see they gave him a broad, you know, that whole broad sweep. You can see involving North Carolina, and it's going down. And as we move a little further south, they become a little bit more specific. And what that tells me is that he had more recent ancestors in the area of Florence, in that zone.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
So that's basically his lineage is from that area. It's what you just described when you were reading your family migration history from the area of Halifax, Edgecombe, Northampton counties, Virginia, and North Carolina, and then going down into Georgia. This is what that map is showing. But when you see these areas, that those smaller areas, like you see the area of Florence, then you see the area of Camden. When you see a smaller area, that shows that that's more recent, they're able to localize that more recent in this lineage.
Mm-hmm.
It's less distinct as you, if you notice, it's less distinct as you move up. It's more broad encompassing as you move up into North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. They're just, when you go back in time, it just makes sense. You're a little less able to be as specific.
Mm-hmm. Right, right.
Because you're probably dealing with something that's going back 200 years.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Mm.
But you can, you know, unless you have a question, you can go to the next slide, which would be like the certificate.
Okay.
It's like throwing a million marbles or little pebbles as far as you can, and then going back and finding them.
Yes, basically.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes, it's very tedious work.
Yes. Wow.
My family come from the pits, and they were from Halifax and Northampton County.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and I noticed that that side of my family, we have these matches down in Georgia. I have noticed that.
Oh wow.
Wow, that's deep.
That's deep.
Like distant cousins.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Amazing.
That's crazy.
So now this is what the certificate you, if you get the if you order the 28 STR test, this is what the certificate looks like. He will give you your, on the certificate, of course, the test includes far more matches, but he gives you the top 28 based on his analysis, okay, of the populations. But of course, you have far more than what this certificate is showing. So before I start analyzing what's on the right, let's talk about the percentages. Okay, now I'm sure when you go through these percentages, one of the first things that you notice is his Native American is 8%. Now we tend to get 1, less than 1%, 0.5%. So one may wonder why on this particular test is his 8%. Well, the percentage is based on the references. We have to be mindful when we start talking about Native American, when we're using traditional DNA testing, they're not factoring in the Eastern Woodland tribes.
Right.
They're only talking about Mesoamerican tribes. Now 23andMe includes the North American tribes out west, not the East Coast, and South American tribes. And what all of those tribes have in common is that they are primarily Asian derived.
Right.
All right. So that explains why we will get 1%, 0.5%, and these tiny percentages. And of course, we will have, even though it's minuscule, as a general rule, we will have those percentages because we are anciently seated here. So it's expected that there was some intermingling, but those are not our tribes. They came in, and like anything else, when new people come in, there will be hostility, intermarriage, hostility, and intermarriage. If you've been in each other's vicinity long enough, the intermixing is inevitable. So there will be an exchange of DNA. So you will find that even they will get tiny bits and pieces of African labeled DNA, which is really the original DNA of the planet. And it is global. It is not exclusive to Africa. And I've said that a million times in my lectures. Okay. So, you know, going through, you will see, of course, the European, we expect that because they came over here. And the sub-Saharan African is encompassing of the original DNA, actually, plus the Moors that came in, all right, plus the African slave trade. Okay, there was a slave trade. You know, I know some people feel it didn't exist, but it did exist. It's just
it did exist.
Exactly, it existed. It's just that the contribution to North America was small.
Right.
Okay, minus you have some people like from the Gullah Geechee area. They did indeed mingle with illegally smuggled Africans from the Rice Coast, but for the rest of us, it was not the biggest contributor. It was a small contribution. So there are many families among us who really do not descend from enslaved Africans. All right, most of the enslaved Africans went to the Caribbean and to South America, and that's just factual. Okay, so those of us, which is a lot of us actually, who mixed with Caribbean people during the intra-American slave trade, we acquired some of that African enslaved DNA through the Caribbean, but not really directly per se. Okay, we did acquire African DNA directly, but not in the way that we're traditionally taught. And I'll sort of get into that. We got it from Europe. A lot of that. See, that's not really talked about the cleansing out of Europe and the coming in, and I'll get into that. So let's then, of course, you have the South Asian. You will see that almost all of us that take this DNA, this particular DNA, we get the South Asian Roma. You know, during the cleansing of Europe, not only were Moors, Sephardic Jews cleaned out, you had a whole removal as much as possible of various other brown people, including Roma people. They don't like to be called gypsies, but the Roma gypsies, many of them were also sent out and came into the colonies. And of course, they were in Europe since ancient times. So some people that came here were already just intermixed with them. And then this Middle Eastern Jewish, I want to talk about that. A lot of us get that as well. These are matches to the Levant areas like Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, the area, I'm a little tongue-tied, not the Levant, but the Arabian Peninsula, like around the Red Sea. So that also factors in. And a lot of that mixture comes actually from the Moors that came. They carried that DNA. So, and this is also why I know that a lot of the people that came into the colonies were in fact of African descent, but they were from Europe because they have a North African pattern. And North Africans will have those matches to the Levant area. Okay, they will have the Mediterranean and they will have Southern Europe, whereas your prototypical West African does not have those matches. So when you understand the genetic patterns, that opens your eyes. And then last but not least,
a lot of Melungeons and Cherokees get that Middle Eastern as well.
Yes, and he has that. He has matches to the Melungeons. And the last but not least, on the left, he has the match to Malagasy. Now, that does not mean he has lineage from Madagascar, okay? What that means is he's genetically similar to the people of Malagasy, because if you understand what they are in terms of their ancestral composition, they are basically Bantu type Africans who have a lot of Southeast Asian, Austronesian DNA, okay? was a settlement there in Madagascar. And that is something that's very important because Tyrone Lewis Cannon did his study on almost 400, it was 300 and something so-called African Americans, Black Americans from North America. And what he discovered was 88% of that population study had Southeast Asian DNA. And for those of you who participate with 23andMe, you can see that not only in your results, but in the results of your family members. And then when he added the North American native, 99.5% of us had both the Southeast Asian and the Native American marker. Now, the significance of that is the fact that so many of us, almost 100% of us, have those markers. What that means is that a good bulk of our lineage had to be here when they came in, because the Austronesians tend to carry the Southeast Asian DNA, and they were the earliest seafarers to come in. So the earliest migrants to come here were the Austronesians. And then the people that we are calling Native Americans, who are descendants from Asia, like Mongolia, Central Asia, Siberia, it was various Asian migrants. We also get those matches as well. So we can look at the populations on the right, and I will give an explanation for it. So when you're looking at STR, you have to understand it's a nuance to it. It's not, sometimes these matches can mean you directly descend from these people, but oftentimes what it means is that you share genetic similarity to them. And this is very important to understand. Because it is an STR test, the matches to the smaller tribes have to do with actual matches to those tribes. So you have a combination on the right of large areas, and you have also smaller tribes. So let's start breaking this down. Many of us who participate with DNA tests, right? Various DNA tests, we will notice that we will get these matches to Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Cameroon. It would be pretty much the areas. I know Bantu is sort of a pejorative term, but I mean the group of African families to the southern part of Africa. We have a tendency to get matches to that. And in fact, that's our greatest match. It's actually not to Nigeria. Okay, it's not. We get matches to those areas. So if you look at his top matches, it will be the Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya. That would be the original DNA. This Bantu DNA, okay, is older than West African DNA. And as a matter of fact,
Yes.
if you would take a look at West Africans' genetics, and I have, you will see that the older part of their DNA is Bantu. So even the older part of them goes back to these regions. Do you understand?
Uh-huh.
Right. So West Africans are not ancient. See, we are sort of brainwashed into thinking Black equals ancient, but there were different families and different ages of these families on the planet. West Africans are newcomers, all right? The older people would be the Pygmy,
Yep.
the Khoisan or the San, and then the Bantu. The Bantu would be like the third older brother.
Yeah. I'm talking about that in my new book.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow. Can't wait to get that.
Were global.
Yeah, it was global.
Those were global. And so, for example, DNA Consultants, which is another third-party DNA test, they have something called the Mozambican gene. And the Mozambican gene, they isolated and said they found the Mozambican gene in Tibetans.
Mm.
They found the Mozambican genes in Navajo natives.
Mm.
And they found the Mozambican
Yep.
genes in a certain percentage of Black Americans. So again, that is global DNA. West African DNA is not global. All right. West African DNA is part of the Moorish uh, DNA profile. That is not global. They were seafarers, yes, but it's not global in an ancient way. But Bantu, Pygmy, Khoisan DNA are global. As a matter of fact, Otzi, who is a 5,000-year-old frozen mummy who was found in the Alps, if you look at his ancestral composition, you will see that the older part of his DNA was Pygmy and Bantu.
Mm.
All right. So, not to, over discuss that point, but these are global DNA. I have to also point something out. The owner and the creator of this company, Chris Lusakis, his grandfather was Hawaiian. So he took special interest in studying the DNA in a detailed level of Polynesians. And he has, when you go to his site, a video on Hawaiian DNA. I asked him personally, what is the breakdown? And he is very open. He says that Polynesians have on average 20 to 25% of sub-Saharan African DNA. Now, when you look that up, you will not see it, because what happens is, the trick is, every group on the planet is given a genetic category based on their geopolitical location. So Polynesian DNA, you don't get to see what's inside of it unless you have your own lab company like this man does.
Mm.
You only get to see Polynesian. If someone comes from those areas, these computer models recognize the alleles and allocate them to the genetic category called Polynesian. But what's inside of a Polynesian's DNA? You and I don't have privy to that, but he does. And what he said was that sub-Saharan, I don't like the word, but let's use it. That sub-Saharan African DNA is most genetically similar to the Great Lakes area.
Mm.
That's the area that your father has at the top.
Wow.
So that is ancient global DNA. It is found all over the planet.
Yep.
So the Great Lakes, that's like out in Michigan, right?
No, the Great Lakes in the African continent.
Oh, okay.
She's talking about the Great Lakes over in Africa.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Yes, that's that DNA similarity to those people
Mm-hmm.
is a very ancient, universal, ancient DNA that all human beings on the planet have some sort of connection to.
Oh, wow.
So
Yep.
what happens is that we're not given our genetic community. We're not called indigenous Americans and given a community where our geopolitical category is respected.
Mm-hmm.
So our components are exposed, whereas the other people are given their geopolitical categories and their components are hidden. So you and I don't get to see their matches to Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda. Ours is exposed, and then we're told that we're Africans in denial, when the truth is that DNA is all over the place. It's in Southeast Asia, it's in the Pacific Islands, it's in the area we call Papua New Guinea. All human beings have it. So all human beings are various mixtures of ancient DNA and new mutations on the planet.
Mm.
And then they're given a genetic category that's based on their geopolitical location, and then some clown not understanding that will come back and then say this has nothing to do with Africa. So it isolates the African continent. And then, of course, if you want to steal a people's identity and their land, then you expose that category and you don't respect their geopolitical location. And then it looks like we're the only two groups with that DNA, when the truth is the people in the Pacific Islands have it, just like the people in Southeast Asia, and every melanated person on the planet has it, just in varying percentages.
Oh.
Bombs going off. I need the sound effect on my computer. I told y'all.
Hello? You still there?
Doc was gonna go ham. I
Oh.
told y'all the doc was gonna go ham. Did I not? I told everybody. She was
Yes, indeed, you did.
Oh, ham.
You did. You gave ample warning. Sound like Deontay Wilder. Bomb squad.
Those matches prove his ancient tie to the planet, including this land mass. So you can't claim indigeneity anywhere on this planet without those markers.
Right. That's real talk.
Oh, man.
So we don't need to run from it. We just need to understand it.
Yep.
Because if you don't have this DNA, then whose DNA do you want? Because everybody else is younger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You know, but I understand some of the pushback, because you do have this need to Africanize us. You understand?
Right.
And to remove us from the land. So I personally do understand the pushback, but we need not throw it all away, because what you're doing is throwing your ancient claim to the planet. The question is not why do we have matches to Africa? The question is, why doesn't other people have as much of the matches as we have?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And that's not to put a disclaimer out there. That's not to say that there is not African in the DNA in some people. You know, we're not, trying to, deny anything or anything like that. We're just saying that it's over exaggerated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, all groups of people have a certain percentage of that DNA. Is just very tiny.
Mm-hmm.
It's very tiny in certain populations. It's medium in other populations, and it's high in continental Africans, and that depends on what part of the continent they're in, and it's relatively high in ours. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting.
It's global ancient DNA. That's what I call it.
Exactly.
It's global ancient DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Labeling it African hides the truth that it's outside of Africa.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
So going down, you'll notice Alabama African American. That's a group, okay? A test group of Black Americans. Yes.
Yeah.
Is universal source DNA.
Yep.
So basically a test group from Alabama, many of them of Creek origins. That's what I understand. You can see he has matches to that population. That's where STR is coming in. All right. You also see another Bantu type group, the Mozambique. It goes along with the Kenya, the Tanzania, and the Uganda. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see African Cuban. All right. This is where the intra-American slave trade comes in. because now you start seeing matches to people from the Caribbean. Okay.
Okay.
Then you have match to the Mississippi African American. Again, people who have a lot of Choctaw or Choctaw lineage in various tribes that come from the Mississippi Basin. You will see participate, and he has matches there.
And that's the Choctaw comes up in one of the other PDFs
Okay.
that was
Oh
sent.
yeah.
The Choctaw comes up.
Choctaw. Yeah.
Right. And then you have the Akan of Ghana. Okay. Now, when you see Akan, Ghana, from what I've observed, matching to coastal tribes like that generally comes from the Caribbean. Because when I've seen Caribbean results, by the way, of individuals who participated, and they get a lot of Akan. They get a lot of Akan in their DNA, a lot. So I tend to notice people who have Caribbean lineage, which is a lot of us, but those of us where it's a little more heavy than others, we tend to get these matches to Akan.
Wow.
I want to talk about the Yoruba, because the Yoruba, that match is a little complex. I would say of the West Africans, Yoruba people extended their tentacles out globally in many ways.
Yeah.
So when you look at DNA test results of even Saudi people, of even Horn Africans, North Africans, all over the continent, you will see that many of them have tiny DNA matches to the Yoruba people.
Yeah, they were major.
They were major. And they extended their tentacles to the Americas. So none of us escaped Yoruba DNA. And even the Moors that came out of Europe had some Yoruba DNA. It's just you can't tell where it comes from because they had their tentacles all over the place.
All over the place.
They had it all over the place. Okay.
Wow.
Now, Jamaica, that goes back to the intra-American slave trade. All right. So
we knew about the Jamaica. Yeah.
And you knew about it.
Yeah.
Right. So this DNA test is reaffirming your research. Okay.
Wow. And
then,
he's done a whole lot of it too.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Mr. Blanc.
Yeah, he's done a whole lot of research too, going back like 30 years, you know.
Oh yeah. And then we can see the Cherokee, North Carolina. Now, the Cherokee that he uses, that Mr. Lusakis uses, is from the Qualla Reservation in the Smoky Mountains. He uses their DNA as a sample. And, I've heard criticism about that because they certainly aren't the only Cherokees. That's just the sample he's using. But I tell people, the reason why this still has value, because understand that even if people say, well, they are more the Mesoamerican types, and they are more Mesoamerican derived compared to other Cherokee groups, we still will match them in an STR because of intermingling. See, this intermingling happens even when there's a relationship that's subversive. The intermingling still happens. So you will find that even if the phenotype is not the same as the people who come from the Qualla Reservation, those of us with Cherokee lineage will still have some matches to them as well.
And also the Cherokees on Kuala are a little, I would say, a little less mixed than the ones out west. So that's probably why he used the North Carolina, because if you go to the ones in Oklahoma, a lot of them are more European.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
European mixed.
That's exactly right. Why he did that. And then
Wow.
you have the American Indian, Northern Blue Ridge, and Piedmont. This would be dominated by Saponi people who come from the Monacan.
That's the Blackfoot. Yep.
Yep. Okay. There were different families. This is one family. That's where the Blackfoot comes in. And then we see the Chickasaw. Okay, he has matching to the Chickasaw. Now, he told me that that is also a pattern. The owner, Mr. Lusakis, told me that that's a pattern that he sees with Saponi people, that they often have Chickasaw roots. Because in the 1700s, the Chickasaw visited them and there was a lot of intermingling. And then, of course, there's Germany. Germany speaks for itself. He pointed out that a lot of us get Germany. He said that that's something that he sees very frequently with our population.
Well, he's right on point, because we have on Dad's side, we have Caucasian ancestors. We have Caucasian relatives.
Yeah. Oh yeah, especially over in England.
And I see England there too.
Yeah. Amazing.
If you look, you see the Powhatan.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Now he told me that Powhatan very well could be also neighboring tribes like Chickahominy. You have various Algonquian tribes out of the Chesapeake. So, you know, they were adjacent to each other and intermingled with each other. So it very well could be a conglomeration of those.
Right.
And
that lines up fierce. That lines up with your migration of your family.
That's why I read that. Yeah. Yep. Virginia. It lines right up with the migration.
Yeah. Because a lot of those families were a mixture of Algonquian and Saponi. You know, the tribes were intermingling. Virginia, half of Virginia was Saponi, and then towards the eastern corridor was dominated by Algonquian tribes. So a lot of people, by the time they migrated down, they were really an amalgamation of both Algonquian and Saponi people.
That's amazing.
Then we have the Basque. The Basque is a little tricky too, because a lot of us get matches to the Basque people. They are an ancient people of Europe. And there's two sources for that. Many of the Moors, having been in Europe for a very long time, mixed with Basque people. So a lot of them carried Basque DNA. But also there was a lot of trade going on from pre-Columbian times between Basque people and Algonquians, to the point where they even have a pidgin language among themselves. So it's not uncommon for people who descend from the Eastern woodland tribes to have matches to the Basque for a couple of reasons.
Amazing.
And then you have the Madagascar, which, I mentioned before. A lot of us have matching to Madagascar due to the Austronesian mix, which gives a similar type to the people who are from Madagascar. And don't get me wrong, I read roughly 2,000 enslaved Africans from Madagascar, many of whom went to more the Caribbean than North America. But the fact that so many of us get that, I'm less inclined to believe that as a factor, because we already know that a good portion of our people have Austronesian markers. So it's just logical that we would have the similar likeness to the Malagasy people.
Mm.
And then we have the match to Israel, Jewish. The actual matches to Levantine Jewish people. And
Mm-hmm.
that speaks to who also came into the colonies. You had not only the Moors, you had Afro-Sephardic Jews. A lot of people don't know that as you go back in time, the Sephardim were really no different than the North Africans when you start talking about their ancestral composition. Many of them came out of North Africa and migrated from the Levant area and have the similar genetic composition. So when you go back in time, many of them were considered black. And during the Inquisition, they had to convert from Islam and Judaism to Christianity. And in the late 1490s, many of them ran up into England and became a source of the indentured servants that found their way in the colonies. And we see these surnames that some of us have, like Chavis, which was originally Chavez,
Mm.
Driggers, which was originally Rodriguez,
Mm.
Mm.
Hendricks, which was originally Hendriquez.
Mm.
I can go on. A lot of those names were Moorish and Jewish names. So it is hard to find any of us without some of those markers, because these men that came in that were labeled African indentured servants had that DNA embedded in them and they passed it to us. That's why I
Mm.
know that a good portion of who came here were not simply straight from Africa, but were from Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And we can see
Wow.
that as we move down. So now we have the Hucho, the Nayarit, Mexico. So we also get now this is based on the current population there, the Mesoamericans, who are predominantly of Asian extraction in terms of their ancestral composition. Well, when the conquistadors went into Mexico, well, as one landmass, a lot of them ran up into the southeast. So that's why a lot of us get Mesoamerican DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been here long enough where even before the conquistadors came in aggressively, there was just back and forth. I mean, people were just mixing. So you will tend to see that a lot of us that come from the deeper south, we tend to have more Mesoamerican mixtures than those of us who come from the mid-Atlantic to the northeast corridor. So it's not uncommon to see people from Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Texas with some Mesoamerican. I mean, a lot of us get this, to be very honest with you, because there was just so much back and forth going on. And
Yeah.
there was an aggressive running up into the area we call North America when the conquistadors came in. So,
Mm-hmm.
there was intermingling. And then we have Tuscany, Italy. Now, a lot of us will notice, for those of us who have an Ancestry DNA account, we have seen these updates. So now the new thing is that a lot of us have Northwest Italy. And Tuscany is in North Italy. And, one may wonder what's going on there.
Right.
If you I happen to have seen this Tuscan DNA and what it was juxtaposed next to, and it was adjacent to Senegambian type DNA. Now, let me explain why I'm mentioning this. The North African in their unmixed, if you see the North African and they're not as miscegenated, their DNA is predominated by Senegambian, Malian type DNA, Senegambian type DNA. It depends on the genetic test that you're using. In many instances, if not most, from what I've seen, anytime that I see Tuscany, Italy, it is generally mixed with that type of Northwest, North African type of DNA that
Uh-huh.
labeled Gambia, Senegambia, Mali, and it depends on the DNA test. Now, what's the significance of this? You had a number of Sephardic Jews that came in to the colonies, and their origins were out of that Tuscan area. Okay. And one notable family that came in for people who descend from the Nassamon tribe out of Virginia were the Bass family.
Yeah, yeah, and on his other file, Nansemon comes up.
Yeah. The Bass family, they they have a lineage, and they go back to the Bassano family. And the Bassano
Wow.
family were musicians and talented musicians, and they were
Really?
used in one of the courts. I forget the king. I don't know if it was King Henry VIII, but they were a musical family.
Well, there it
And
is, right there.
There it is.
One of the first artists on Capitol Records.
yeah,
Yeah, one of the first soul singers.
The first
wow,
Yeah.
wow. Well, the DNA goes down. There's you can't stop the DNA. But they were a
Right.
musical family, and they had their roots out of that area of Italy. And I don't think they're the only ones, but
Hmm.
the significance of that is that what they tried to push as a common paradigm of our mixture is this British slave master and this coastal West African. And as you can see here with your dad, with Mr. Blase, you can look at these results and see that there's something far more complex than that. In fact, the Northwest European, which we could say would be the Germany and the English, is the least influential. And, and the only coastal African that I'm seeing really is the Akan.
Mm.
Okay. Not to say
Wow.
that's the only one, but we can see so much other stuff is happening here.
Hmm.
So now going down to Roma, we have the Roma people. And as I said earlier, the Roma people were ancient people that have roots out of North India. Okay, the North
Uh-huh.
India, Pakistan area. They are also very musical people, and they're known for being very talented. In fact, the flamenco dance out of Spain comes from the Roma people.
Mm.
Oh,
And
really?
oh yes, they're very musically talented people. Uh,
Mm.
they were heavily mixed in with many people. So, if you look at the DNA of Spaniards, Italians, and many Europeans, even that are conventionally considered white, I say that in quotes today, many of them have
Right.
tiny matches to the Roma people. So,
Hmm.
we have a good part of our lineage that comes out of Europe. And I don't mean just pale people, but the Moors, the Sephardic Jews, they were there for some time. There's mixing that's going on. And then in addition, they were sent here as well as indentured servants into the colonies. And so there are people who just simply have ancestors who were Romani. And even if you didn't, you have ancestors out of Europe who's just simply mixed with Romani. So it's hard to really find any of us who does not have that mixture. And then going down, we have the Nahua, the Actopan, Mexico. Again, it goes back to what I said earlier. You had, and again, this is an Aztec tribe, and this is based on modern populations, okay? And of course, he's going to have the matches because, again, people are running back and forth. There's all kind of war and invasions going on. And
Right.
going down, we have the Taino. All right. So the Taino is influenced by, there was a lot of trading between us and the Caribbean long before Europeans came over here. So according to him, he said that he has seen Taino mixtures in Northeast tribes, even up to Canada.
Yeah,
So
yeah. The Tainos, they from Florida even all the way down to the Carolinas.
oh yeah,
Taino Arawaks were here.
that's
Mm.
right.
Because they were
So
Wow.
pharaohs.
many of us get those matches. And in addition to the intra-American slave trade, there will be Taino mixtures added on top of those people coming in from the Caribbean. Just like, there are people from the East Coast that was taken to the Caribbean as well. And then we have the Occaneechi Saponi. This is a subdivision of the Saponi people in North Carolina that he matches. So he has some tribal lineage with them as well. So
Wow.
he has more, he's showing more than one branch of Saponi lineage. He's showing further up in the Blue Ridge and Piedmont, northern Blue Ridge Mountain and Piedmont area, and he's also showing the match to the Occaneechi Saponi people of North Carolina. And then last but not least, his match to Indonesia, which goes back to what I stated a couple of times already. That's the Austronesian influence. They were the earliest migrants and they carried Southeast Asian DNA. So this is why we get these matches to Indonesia, Vietnam, Cambodia, the Philippines, because the Austronesians carried those genetic markers.
Now to add to what you're saying there, I want to share something. This is where you do your cross referencing. Let's see here. I want to show something here. Show that this is right on point. Now this right here is from 23andMe. And what you're saying about the Austronesian at the
That's
bottom.
right. So as a general rule, the smaller percentages, if you look at the bottom, you see that his indigenous American has small percentages, and you will see that the Filipino and Austronesian is also very tiny. Okay. Now, the tiny markers, what that suggests is that it happened in ancient times. Okay. That's what it suggests, going back in time.
Yep.
All right. And the markers to the top does not mean that he's more Nigerian, Ghanaian, Senegambian.
Right.
It means this happened in recent times. And we can see this displayed better with the timeline. I don't know if Fish, you were able to.
Let me see. Keep talking and I'll see if I can pull it up.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a tendency when people look at those numbers, Nigerian, Ghanaian, Senegambian, we go out of our minds and we think that this is what we are. Those numbers are exaggerated. And I didn't show it today, but for those of you who have done 23andMe, go to your percent confidence and switch it to 95% confidence, and you will see those numbers go significantly down.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you do. But you will see no change, barely, in the European and in the indigenous American and the East Asian. So
Wow.
you know that there's manipulation on what they're calling sub-Saharan African. So
Mm-hmm.
for those of your listening audience who did 23andMe, go to your percent confidence, because it's automatically reported at 50% confidence level. Switch it to 95% confidence level, and you will see barely changes in the European and the indigenous American, or what they're calling indigenous American. But notice the categories go all the way down for Nigerian and Ghanaian. So they're admitting to you they're not confident as to what is your main ancestral composition. 95% confidence level, but they are confident that the European is European and that the indigenous, which is really the Asian native, they're confident as to what they are, regardless.
Amazing. Really amazing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get that timeline tonight. Maybe we could do it on the next show.
Okay, that's fine.
Because this new computer is not allowing me to access 23andMe right now. I can do it on another computer, but that's gonna take too much time.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
But
I saw that Seminole and Lumbee and Nigmuck in there too.
that's in the other list that we get ready.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Give me 1 second here.
Amazing.
Let's see.
That is truly amazing. I often wonder where all this music in me come from, you know.
DNA,
Yeah, isn't that something?
ancestors.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, here's the DNA list.
Oh, yes. So the way this works is that okay, oh yeah, that's his tribes. The way it works, the tribes at the top to the bottom is what he is closest to genetically.
Okay.
So Saponi Monacan is huge for him. And that he mentioned Blackfoot.
Right.
You mentioned Blackfoot. And then, of
That's
course,
it.
you have the Algonquian, which makes sense because that's in the Virginia area.
Mm-hmm.
So it only makes sense that there will be mixing. And then you have the Cherokee. He mentioned the Cherokee. And then you have the Powhatan again. And you have the various tribes going down. You
Yeah.
have the Chickasaw, the Yuchi.
Potawatomi,
Yes.
Yeah.
Shawnee, Haida. You said Chickasaw, Yuchi.
I'm not surprised by the Yuchi because the Chickasaw and the Yuchi, I think, were adjacent to each other.
Oh, wow.
When you start talking about Tennessee area.
Mm-hmm.
Monongahela culture.
I have to look that one up again. I knew about it.
North Carolina, Amerindian.
North Carolina Amerindian, that one is more, he told me, Halawa Saponi.
Okay. Tuscarora,
Wow.
North Carolina.
Yep. That would make
Amerindian.
sense because that's part of the complex.
Amerindian.
Yeah, we said that already.
Oh, okay.
Tuscarora and the North Carolina, that's right along with the migration pattern of the family that we read earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Calusa, southern Florida.
Yeah.
That makes a whole lot of sense because that's
Mm-hmm.
where families from Florida, Georgia, that whole area.
Yeah.
Pamunkey, Virginia Tidewater.
Hmm.
Native American of the Southwest Ozarks.
Wow.
Native American, Northeast Tennessee. Pamunkey, Virginia Tidewater. Cherokee, Southwest Tennessee Valley. And they go that Nansemond, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Spoke about that earlier, the Nansemond.
Mm-hmm.
When it repeats itself, it usually is a sign of a strong lineage.
Oh.
Cherokee.
That's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
This is Cherokee Pool. Native American Middle Tennessee. Amerindian North Carolina is North Carolina again, that's strong.
Yeah.
Native American East Central Kentucky.
And that's Cherokee influenced.
Oh, wow.
That's deep.
That's deep.
Nansemond again,
Mm-hmm.
Virginia. Now what is it? Now, okay, so this is my question. So here at 27, it has Nansemond, and you also have, if you look, it has Nansemond on 22. Why does it have it both on 27 and on 22?
It seems like when it tends to repeat itself, he looks at that.
Okay.
In terms of his strength. Like in my case, Nansemond didn't really repeat itself. And also the arrays, I know it's too exhaustive to include that. He goes back and he looks at the arrays and he sees how often, you know what I'm talking about with the arrays?
Yeah, I have it. I have it downloaded.
Yeah, the arrays. He looks at how often those tribes appear in the arrays, and he explained to me that he didn't really see. For example, I'm using myself as an example. He didn't really see Nansemond really repeated that much with the arrays. That lets him know that although it's there, it's very minor in my lineage.
Okay, that's what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Native Americans, Western Ohio Valley, Ojibwa, Michigan.
He also explained to me that some of these matches have to do with the fact that these tribes migrated. So you will have matches to like Salish and, Northwestern tribes and tribes out of Michigan, because some of these tribes, well, all tribes migrated from somewhere. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you're looking at the influence of migration patterns as well.
Right. Then Cherokee and Seminole.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So if you notice, that Cherokee keeps coming up.
Keeps
popping up. That seemed to be about the strongest one.
Yes. And he also said nobody's 28 STR is the same unless they're identical twins.
That's amazing.
Native American, Eastern, Central Kentucky. Piedmont, Siouan, Virginia. There we go, Virginia again. This is very consistent. Creek, Georgia. Lumbee, North Carolina.
Wow.
Algonquin, Western New England. And that's repeated right under that.
Yep.
Algonquin, Western New England is repeated. It's twice right behind each other.
Right behind each other.
And then also check.
What does that mean, Doc? When it's right behind each other?
That means that it's something more significant. And then also, if you notice the Mohawk and the Nipmunk, all of those people are neighbors.
Right, Mohawk, Nipmuc, yeah,
and the Algonquian Western Native. So that shows that influence there. This has to do with a lot of this, because I asked him about this. He was saying a lot of this has to do with the tribes trading and intermingling with each other.
Yeah, a lot of trading. Yeah, a lot of trading, a lot of intermingling. Yeah, that's a fact.
Wow.
That's a fact. Then Powhatan again.
Again, huh?
It keeps repeating the Powhatan and Nottoway. There's Nottoway, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Piedmont, Siouan, Virginia. Virginia keeps coming up. It's consistent with the family migration that I was reading earlier of our family.
Mm-hmm.
Algonquin, Western New England. There we go again, New England. Yep. Mi'kmaq.
Again, huh?
Canada, Mi'kmaq.
Which makes sense because look how much he's getting these matches to the Northeast tribes.
Northeast.
And it's just right across.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Occaneechi, Saponi, North Carolina. There goes Saponi again.
Mm-hmm.
Saponi again.
Lenni Lenape. I never knew.
Wow.
But that makes sense because the Western Algonquian would be above the Lenni Lenape. So Lenni Lenape would be like the Delaware up into New York area.
Yep. Chickasaw.
Incredible. Chickasaw. Incredible.
Taino. Bahamas Taino. And Mixed Aleut, Alaska.
Wow.
Yeah, our ancestors were working it, boy. The whole continent.
That's for sure. My goodness, man. All over the place.
All over the place.
Yes, and it's an exhaustive list.
It's an exhaustive list.
Oh my goodness. Man.
Exhaustive list.
Wow.
That's a lot of tribes.
Now, how many tribes are all together on that list?
52.
This list?
52, it says.
52. Wow.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
That's crazy.
My goodness.
That is crazy.
That is really something.
Wow.
Mind-boggling.
Mm-hmm.
And all of this is consistent with the maps. When we go back to the original journeys, which are really communities that they assigned him.
True.
These matches go right to it. When you look at that map.
Oh yeah, let me bring the map up. Give me 1 second. Can you see that?
Wow.
Can you see that?
Oh yes, I see it.
Oh wow. Interesting looking map there.
That's the first two of them. That's the first map.
Okay. Oh wow.
And then there's another one right after that. Second. And that's the second map.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
But his tribes will go along with that ancestry DNA map.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's you talking about the one that we showed earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Which is really, I have to tell you, his map, that North America, I noticed that it lines up with his ancestry, right? Everybody doesn't have um, a map that looks like that. My mom and her brother do not have a map that looks like that. That map, literally, he basically just has the whole southeast. They don't have a map like that because they're from Northeast North Carolina. They do not have a map like that.
Wow.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So he runs the gamut.
Oh man, I'm
Wow.
telling you, the entire gamut.
That's crazy.
My.
I think the people who are from the deeper South, my observations they tend to have a map like this a little bit more than those of us who have lineages from Northeast North Carolina.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because the families left Northeast North Carolina and went to the South, deeper South, and then intermingled with the indigenous people down there, as opposed to the other way.
Wow.
Our mixtures with the deeper South would not reflect anything more recent. Do you understand? Whereas with his, it would.
Okay.
Because you didn't really have people leaving Georgia, Alabama, and Florida coming up to Northeast North Carolina and Virginia. You had the movement really going from Northeast North Carolina, Virginia, going further south.
All the way down to Florida, right?
Right.
Like the Keys and all of that.
Exactly. So you had the movement going down as
Yeah.
opposed to coming up. But we get the matches, but not as prominent like him, because our matches just reflect trading. His matches reflect not only trading, but what's taking place in more recent history of families literally leaving Virginia, North Carolina, and going down into the deeper South.
Right.
Wow.
And also there's another document about the family that I didn't read, and it talks about migrations going into Texas and then coming back to the East Coast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is quite a journey. Quite a journey, man.
I have a lot of family that left in the early 19th century. They left North Carolina, as a lot of them, and they went into Texas.
Oh wow.
A lot of them. As a matter of fact, I have an elder
Yeah,
cousin.
well, you're on that list, so yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is an expose.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Realistically.
It really is.
Realistically.
Sometimes you wonder what you're made of,
Yeah, it gets real deep.
I'm still looking at my mom's and my uncle's, and then I did the STR on myself. I'm still looking at it. It's like a library.
Wow.
I feel like I'm always discovering something.
Yeah.
Always discovering something.
Always discovering something. Uncovering, Discovering and uncovering.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That is really incredible.
It is.
Like an archaeologist,
That's true. That's true.
Man, you wonder what your makeup is,
Oh yeah.
What an incredible science.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, this is
Man.
an example of science and genealogy converging.
Mm.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because
That is
anybody
true.
can say anything, but see, you've done your due diligence with researching your family. So, with him saying, and then of course, Mr. Blase knows his oral history. So none
Mm-hmm.
of this stuff is, maybe the exhaustive list is a surprise, but the top matching tribes are not surprises.
Right.
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 And you know what's strange too? Those people, they used to like be kind of hush hush about things. You know, they didn't want to really talk about their native ancestry. You know,
Right.
it was always like a kind of a whisper. You know,
Oh yeah.
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And they see they were the original owners of the land.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's like Pierce's thing. The original landlords.
That's right. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
So they had to be hush.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true.
Oh yeah. They
What a
get
shame.
they get
Mm-hmm.
they get killed.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that something?
Yep.
And you know, my grandmother, she used to hand make these quilts, you know,
I heard about
beautiful,
those.
beautiful quilts.
That's an
Yeah, by
indigenous
hand.
custom too. I heard about those.
Oh yeah, I used to see my grandmother making those.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
we would save all of the scraps of like clothes that we were going to throw away or whatever, and we never threw those clothes away. And that's what she would make those quilts out of.
Nice.
And the finished product would just be beautiful and heavy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I got to see that with my own eyes.
Mm. Amazing.
Oh yeah,
Amazing.
that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the oral, you have the research, and
Right.
now you have the DNA.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
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 Oh yeah.
Hmm. Mm-mm.
Well, Doc, I know you're tired
Admittedly, I am and hungry.
and hungry.
So
Yeah.
what you gonna tackle for dinner?
I made macaroni with tuna. I made it simple
Okay. Okay. That sounds good.
with roast chicken
All
Okay.
right.
and
Yeah.
Sounds
salad.
great.
Sounds good. Sounds
You
good. Well,
you you now you're making my mouth get watery.
yeah. Well, Doc, we're not gonna keep you. We thank you so much. I'm gonna close out soon.
Okay.
Oh,
But I'll let you go.
thank you very much, Doc.
Oh, you more than welcome. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me back, Fierce.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh,
To be continued.
fantastic.
Oh
To
yes,
be continued. Yes.
absolutely.
This
Yeah.
is very enlightening and enriching, you know.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Doc, I'll let you go.
All
And
righty.
thanks a
I
lot.
see that you had some comments on here too.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you,
Yeah.
Cholecalciferol.
we've been
Yeah,
putting.
there was a lot of people making commentary, you know.
Oh, nice. I'm glad the audience enjoyed it. Now I hope that
Oh yeah,
motivates them to.
absolutely. Somebody just said this was excellent.
Yeah, she can see it on the screen.
Oh, okay, okay, very good.
Okay, Doc, I'm not gonna hold you.
All righty.
All
Okay.
right, Doc.
Okay, Mr. Blase.
Thank you.
You're
So
very
until next
welcome.
time.
Okay, next time.
All right.
All righty. Bye bye.
Okay.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow. You're a great host.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So give me 1 second here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to give a special shout out to my Uncle Butch. We always used to. This is him up here on the screen. He
Yeah.
he and I used to always have conversations about our indigenous ancestry, and it's one of his favorite topics. You know,
Oh yeah. That's true.
and he definitely used to give me some good leads in terms of names, family names, and leads on who to talk to with regards to ancestry and things of that nature. So definitely want to shout him out and
Yeah.
rest in
I
paradise to him.
yeah. I sure miss him too. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Me too.
Oh yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Miss my brother, man. Your uncle.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, he was it's one of as soon as we start talking about the indigenous ancestry, he was ready to go.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Oh yeah. You'd always say, hey, we this family here has a lot of full-blooded Indians in the family.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
used to always say that.
Yeah. He was quite the griot. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when it came to you know dispensing information, that oral history,
Right.
handed down to him, to us.
Yep.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Oh yeah. And conveying, that entire dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We be up all night talking about that stuff.
Exactly. And there is no history like oral history.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
that's the gateway to unlocking all of the, in other words, that's the skeleton key,
mm-hmm.
to unlocking that big gate, that to get into that community.
Exactly.
Yeah, but skeleton key is the master key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. That skeleton key.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
don't only open shiffer robes,
Mm-hmm.
it opens a whole lot of things, rusty locks and gates and um, trunks in the attic, and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that skeleton key.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That skeleton key.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man, I tell you.
Yeah. And I also would like to shout out um, my late great grandmother, Hilda
Yes.
Moore,
Oh
because
yeah.
she was the one, where we get all of this from.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
You know, definitely.
Absolutely.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Trying to remove this image and put up another one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, there we go. There it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Grandma Hilda.
Yeah, my beautiful mother.
Yeah, and she was the one. If she said it, it was law.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That we got to thank her for all of this history that we're
That's right.
you know
That's right.
we got to thank
That's red right there. That our grandfather would threaten my father and tell him if he ever touched red, what he was going to do to him. And he wasn't playing either.
Dang.
Yeah,
Wow.
he had those tomahawks, man.
Mm.
Yeah.
That
mean as a snake.
wow. Wow. Real
Yeah.
real Indian warrior.
Oh yeah, man. He didn't like to go in cars. He liked to walk everywhere.
Mm, mm.
In those moccasins, like that piece you wrote.
Yeah.
That's a masterpiece, boy. That needs to be in the Smithsonian.
Mm, mm.
Oh my goodness, what a masterpiece you wrote.
I might think about doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I already copied and I had it copywritten, so I might as well
good.
level.
That needs to be framed, laminated, and displayed, all over the world,
Mm, mm.
especially in every Indian community.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that
And
is a truly a masterpiece.
and on this picture here, that's actually her real hair.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah, that's her real hair.
Yeah, she was an incredible woman.
Mm-hmm.
And it was her grandmother who threw that tomahawk after her too.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah, she could throw too. She could throw too, boy.
Wow.
If she hadn't been quick
Mm-hmm.
and ducked over into one of those open doorways,
Mm-hmm.
that would have been curtains.
Mm.
Yeah, those people didn't play.
Wow. Mm. That's deep.
Yeah.
Like you say, they didn't play.
They did not play, man.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's a
Look
picture.
at that.
That's a picture. You drew that right.
Yeah, that.
You drew it right from the from the photo, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. What a beautiful woman.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I sure miss her.
Me too. Yeah, that
That was,
we
that
owe.
was my rock right there, boy.
Oh yeah, we owe all of this research we're talking about. We owe it to her. You know,
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
like I say, if she said it, it was law.
absolutely. That's true.
She knew. She knew dates. She knew names. She knew everybody's birthday right out of her head.
Yes, she did. She had a memory that was make put an elephant to shame.
Yep,
Oh yeah.
yep. She remembered every single family member's birthday. She remembered without looking at a book,
Yes.
without looking at a calendar or anything. She knew everybody's birthday, and she is the one where I used the I used the information that she had from her Bible because she wrote the family history in the Bible. In
Yes.
the
Yes,
back of,
she did.
that's right, in the back of that Bible.
That's
And
right.
that's how I composed the family tree.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
see. Jeanette Jones said your father is a great artist. So
Yeah. Hmm.
I appreciate that.
Yep. Yeah.
Thanks for that.
She knew
It
the
was
whole.
a labor of love. You know.
Yeah. 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 She knew the whole family history, and if she, like I say, if she said it, it was law.
You could take it to the bank.
You could take it to the bank. So when
Oh
she was
yeah.
talking about the indigenous ancestry and all that, I had no doubts in my mind because I knew how she kept records.
Yes, she did. Yes,
Yeah,
she did.
I knew how she kept records. She had, she could just spit that stuff right off of her head.
Right.
So with taking this DNA test, it didn't uh it didn't inform us that we had indigenous ancestry. We already knew it.
Exactly.
All it did was confirm what we
Confirmed.
already knew.
Right. I see chiming in, or Nasa.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi there.
Mhm.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yep. Yeah,
Yes.
she was right on point, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She was right on point,
Yes.
you know.
Very wise woman, and a medicine woman too. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah, she knew about herbs and everything.
Right, right.
Yeah, we used to have herbs right in the backyard.
Mm,
Catnip tea and all that stuff. You know.
mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right in our backyard.
I know it was a whole bunch of stuff back there.
Oh yeah. And she knew what plant was what too.
Mm, wow.
Oh yeah.
And I know that y'all knew instinctively what plants were good for different things. Talk about that a little bit.
We sure did. I mean, we knew what plants we could eat, which plants had like if you pluck a certain plant and pull it, if you eradicate it right out of its socket, then that's where all of the nectar was, and we would suck that, and it tastes like honey. You know, I don't know how we knew, but we knew
Mm,
just instinctively.
mm,
We knew that.
wow.
Um, other things. We would. There was another thing that we call Easter grass. I don't know why we called it that, but
Mm,
you pull it up out of the ground, and you pop it to get the root off of it, and then you just put it in your mouth and chew on it,
mm,
and that tastes good.
mm,
Then we had another thing that it looked like you pull it out of the ground, and you could light it. You could dip it in kerosene or something, and light it, and that thing would burn for hours.
Mm.
Yeah, all through the night.
Mm.
Yeah, we knew instinctively how to do that.
Mm.
And we knew how to make wine out of. We had a mulberry tree in our backyard. And Nessa said she met mom. All right. Beautiful. Yeah, we had a mulberry tree and we knew how to make wine out of it without having ever taken any lessons from anybody.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
interesting.
We put it in bottles and let it ferment, and we knew exactly when to drain it or whatever.
Mm. Man,
I guess it's just
that's that indigenous blood. You know, it's in the genetic memory.
right, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It was just there automatically.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't explain it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and the bamboo. We had bamboo in our backyard that we used to cut that down and make what we call pop guns out of it.
Mm.
It had a barrel and a chamber rather, and we would make a staff to go into one end of it, and we had something on trees called china berries,
Mm.
and we would put that in as the ammunition and push that all the way to about the middle of the barrel or the chamber, and then it would when we shoot it, it would sound off just like a pistol
Mm.
and knock your head right off too.
Mm.
Yeah, we used that as a weapon. All of us knew how to make those.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
inherently we knew.
Mm. 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 Mm.
Oh yeah,
Man.
amazing.
Yeah, that is.
Without explanation, without anything, we just knew things.
Wow. Mm. Mm. Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's nothing but you can only attribute that to the ancestral.
yeah. And
In
we never got bitten by a snake either. We would be picking blackberries,
mm-hmm.
and you see a patch of beautiful blackberries, and you'd reach over there as kids to pluck them, and a snake would just run in the opposite direction. You never saw the snake until they started running.
Mm.
Yeah,
Now, Night Cove, you obviously just joined the show. You're either ignorant or you just joined the show.
Night crave. He's craving attention,
Craving attention, you know.
and he's craving an insane asylum.
Yeah, I mean, we just went through. We just this was about 2 hours breaking down all of this information for you to say that it's not accurate. Just because you don't know how to break it down, that doesn't mean that it's not accurate. You just don't. You're just not savvy enough to break down the science. Okay, but because you can't break down the science, that doesn't mean that we don't know how to break down the science. Okay.
He craves the night. See, he's got the right name. He craves the night, and the night means darkness. He's in darkness. He's walking in darkness, and
Yeah.
don't want to get out of darkness.
Don't want to get
You
out of
know, he loves. They say ignorance is bliss, and he's blissful being in the dark. He's craving the night. You see,
the
he
night.
got the proper name.
Exactly. So it's
Just
like
pop in at the end of a book.
right.
That's like reading a tome, right? And everybody go through that whole tome, and then you got somebody come to the end of the book and got this strong opinion, and that's all it is. An opinion is
Opinion.
lunacy.
Yeah. So it's like,
0.1 accurate.
just just
Unbelievable.
just because you don't know, that doesn't mean that we don't know. So why don't you just sit back and humble yourself and learn some knowledge?
Exactly.
But
Some people don't want to learn nothing. They just want to
like you say,
spew rhetoric.
they just want attention.
That's there. He's craving, Got the right name. I don't know who gave him that name, but he sure got the right name.
Hmm.
Night Crave.
We love you too, cuz.
We love you too, cuz. How are you? You looking good.
Yep.
Yes, that's right. They sure did. They sure did. Used to walk miles. Absolutely.
Yep. But yeah. So anyway, back to what we were saying. That these things, we do these things instinctually. You know, instinctually, and
Right.
it's coming from somewhere deep, and so
Mm-hmm.
you know, you know what I
I
mean.
bet he knows a whole lot about people like Brad Pitt and and all these other cartoon characters. I bet he knows a lot about that
Yeah, exactly.
because he studies that type of thing.
Right. But we don't want to give him, too much attention. We want to,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
we want to stay focused on, what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I was saying, those things, they come from someplace deep ancestrally. You know,
They do.
um,
They really do.
these things that we do without even knowing why we do them.
That's true.
Without even
It,
reading a book.
absolutely. It's instinct. It's embedded within your DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, how do you explain little children, knowing these things? And then when you look around, if we're doing it in Florida, then somebody's doing it in Texas. They're doing the same thing,
Right. Exactly.
or in the Carolinas, or Virginia.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What is that? How do you explain that?
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
And how you say, well, how do you know to do that? Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody knows, but you do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that would have been that would have I know that would have been good, cuz.
That would have been great. Absolutely great. Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's why, we have to when we see these opportunities, like a lot of people, they shun the elders, they don't have time for the elders.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Mm-hmm.
too busy, to give them any time. But
Yeah.
when we lose an elder, we lose a part of a library.
That's right. A library.
Yeah, because
Correct.
once that wisdom is gone, that knowledge, it's gone.
It's gone, man.
Oh yeah,
It's gone. You
because
can
people are only interested in nonsense these days.
true.
Yeah, they're interested in the housewives of Atlanta, and what outfit are you going to buy your Barbie doll and Ken and all that. That's
Exactly.
what people are interested in now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's true.
yeah,
It's true.
yeah. Megan the Stallion, they know all about that.
Right. But
So
nothing.
we lose all of that when we don't pay attention to our elders.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I always love to be around older people.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
learn a whole lot.
Yeah, because they sit there and that knowledge and wisdom just pours out of them without them even having to think about it.
Yeah.
So they're just sitting around a fire or something and just talking.
Mm-hmm.
They are the griots,
Yeah, the grills.
the sages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They
but
really.
people don't want to hear that. They don't want to sit there with the elders.
Mm-mm.
They're busy. They got to go somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. You know, hang. They want to hang out and party, and
Yeah,
you know,
go in the club.
exactly,
Yeah, people
exactly.
want to twerk. Men and women want to twerk.
You know,
Isn't that something?
hmm
That's what's important.
that's what's important.
Yeah,
Sad,
that's very sad. Very sad.
you know,
Mm.
but
You're a great host, son.
oh, thanks, thanks.
You're a great host and get better and better every every time.
Wow,
Oh yeah,
wow.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Jeanette, thanks a lot.
thanks, Jeanette.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, yeah. We'll do that. We'll do that.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Sounds like a winner.
China berries, huh?
China berries. Those China berries was something. We had one in our backyard, a China berry tree.
Mm,
Yeah, we had some trees, man. We had that mulberry tree. We had the China berry tree.
mm.
We had bamboo,
Mulberries too.
mulberries, that bamboo of all different sizes
I
too.
remember that bamboo. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember that bamboo.
free of charge.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, then we go a few blocks away. Then we had like grapes growing on vines. We call them bullets.
Bullets. Yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
we had dates. We had pecans. We had persimmons. What else? Figs. All of that was right within reach. Oranges, orange trees, everything.
Mm.
Watermelon. My grandfather used to grow his own watermelon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. So that was his business, right?
that was his business. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
You could get any fruit that you wanted. A few blocks away, we had sugarcane patches. We go in there at night. Everybody had a long knife, and we'd hack. But when morning came, whoever was growing that sugarcane, they'd be minus a third of it.
Oh man.
They'd be minus a third of their crop. As kids, that's what we did.
Mm.
We didn't think we were stealing nothing. And then we had pear trees. Oh man, every fruit that you could name.
Mm.
Peanuts growing out of the ground. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yes, and Jeanette, it's funny you say that because I remember that I made it my business at the parade to have the media. I spoke directly to the media
You sure did.
because they had a history of whenever they come, and this is not to throw shade on any other tribes that come to the parade that we do every year, but they have a tendency to ignore the tribes here in the Northeast and on the East Coast, and they'll only show the stereotypical images, tribes who show the stereotypical images. And I
Yeah.
told the media, I said, this is Lenape hulking, okay? And if you're going to be out here filming the parade, you have to honor the people whose land you're standing on. You're standing on the land of the Lenape people. So if you don't cover any other tribe,
Mm-hmm.
to show some respect and cover the Lenape people, okay? And definitely the indigenous people of the tri-state area and the East Coast.
You made that announcement. You really did.
I surely did, you
Yes,
know,
you did.
and Jeanette is saying here it's interesting that we do a parade every year honoring the Lenape and the other tribes, and Dad has that blood, and we have that blood in us.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Yep.
And you made a point of pointing that out too.
Mm-hmm.
You really did.
Mm-hmm.
And that was before we got this results back too.
That was before we had the results. We didn't. That's funny. That was the ancestors right there saying, you know what, we're glad you did that. Now we're gonna let you know, you know,
That's right.
that you're part of it.
Very prophetic, you know.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm gonna tell you though, this journey that I've been on, the ancestors have been walking me through this process the whole way through.
I know that's right.
And I'm tell you, not everybody believes in the spirit and things of that
Right.
nature, but that's on you. But I know, like, I'd be doing certain research and I'd need a certain piece of information to complete my research. And on that same day, I'd go to the library and find a book that I need for that research that same day.
Not by coincidence.
By coincidence.
Not at all. By
And
divine order.
by divine order. And they show me just the information that I'd be like, wow. But they show me images, of the indigenous people of old, and how they looked and blah blah blah. Oh man.
Isn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
That is truly amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It is.
Mm. Mm-mm.
It is. And
My goodness.
as I
So
said,
you're gonna do a part 2?
yeah, we're gonna do a part 2. And because it's a lot, it's a lot. That whole because you have I think, let me see how many files. I think it's like 9 files that you got or something like that.
Mm.
Because you got the big package.
Right.
You got the main DNA package that includes everything.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh man, that's a big package.
Yeah. So it's too much to break down,
Yeah.
in one.
To have all of that in you,
Yeah.
that is truly mind-boggling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, wow, that's deep.
Totally mind-boggling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's deep, Awanasa.
Oh, thank you so much, cousin.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm going to keep trying to provide more and more music and pouring out my soul, through song. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. Strong Bear.
Oh yeah, y'all did a good job, Strong Bear. You and Fierce, y'all did a real good job.
Oh, thanks.
You really did.
It wasn't easy.
I know.
Yeah.
And next year is going to be even better.
Right. Right.
Oh yeah, because you're going to have that. For when you're walking, you're going to have that portable megaphone with you.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Need that.
So you don't have to strain your voice.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely gonna need that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it wasn't easy editing the footage.
I know. That's what you do. You did a great job.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
Yes, I think so too. I think the ancestors are pleased, and it's going to get better and better.
Oh
I
yeah.
feel. Yeah.
Yeah. Every
You guys worked overtime, double time, triple time.
true.
Yeah.
True.
Quintuple time, and did a great job.
Wow.
Yeah, y'all really put that together.
Mm. Oh, thanks, cuz. Thanks.
I agree, cuz he is like no other. I remember when he went to Africa, his mentor said to me, he said, that son of yours is like a pit bull. When he sink his teeth into something, he will not let go. And I can tell you that, like I'll tell you like Trump would say, that I can tell you. He's he's a real pit bull, and that I can tell you without doubt. No doubt about it. I'm going to sanction him if he.
Oh man.
That is so true.
Yeah. I tried.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want to before we close, I'm gonna give a cliffhanger for the next show that we do, the part 2, to keep the interest of the people. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna share something here on the screen, and let's see here. Give me 1 second. Wait, hold on. You can keep talking. I'm looking for something I'm gonna put on the screen so that
Yeah. Yeah.
let them know the next show is gonna be
Okay.
just
Yeah, because everything was growing on the land. Now they got Monsanto trying to monopolize all the seeds and everything. And if they find out that you're growing your own stuff on your own land, I'm sure they will send a drone in the middle of the night to spray some kind of chemtrail or something on your crop. I guarantee you. So they want us to eat all that Frankenstein food.
that's basically
Which,
what it is. Frankenstein.
yeah, Frankenstein food
Mm-hmm.
created in the lab. Nothing even tastes the same anymore
Mm-mm.
because it's not real food.
Matter of fact, in Florida, you can't eat. There used to be dates all over in
Right.
Florida. Now you can't even find date trees. They don't even
Isn't
have
that
date.
something? That is
No,
exactly true.
no more date trees.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the yellow dates, not
The
the
yellow dates. Yeah.
yellow.
Real sweet dates.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. You can't find it.
You can't find it. You can't find those. Are that was some good fruit, man.
Oh, yeah.
That was some good fruit.
And you had it right on in your yard,
Yeah,
or somebody else's yard, 2 houses down,
exactly.
or around the corner. plum trees, you know,
Mm-hmm.
everything. Peaches. Anything you wanted, you could get it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
It would have been wise to save all those seeds from back then, you know?
Mm, right, right, man.
Yeah,
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 I wish I would have known. I would have saved all of those date
that's
seeds.
right.
And
And all the other seeds.
yeah,
Because we used to just throw a handful of seeds somewhere, and the next thing you look around, you see a plant growing.
mm, mm, mm,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely amazing.
Mm. Yeah, you can't. That made me so mad, man. When we went down to Florida, I was trying to find some dates.
Right.
Find those dates.
All gone. All gone.
All gone. I wonder if there's anybody in the chat. Anybody in the chat know what happened to the date? Anybody from Florida, like Florida, Georgia? Y'all know the dates. The yellow, not the ones, not the Let me show. I have some dates here. I'm gonna show y'all. Hold on one second. Keep talking. I want to show them what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Because we used to pull a whole limb of dates off the tree, you know? We pulled the whole limb down.
Yeah, when I'm talking about dates, I'm not talking about. Let me put me on solo. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about these right here.
Right, right.
I'm not talking about these. It's a whole different fruit altogether.
That's right.
I'm
That's
talking
right.
the yellow. They're yellow. It's a yellow fruit. It's like about this size right here. It's yellow with a seed in the middle, and when you open that seed up and you bite into it, it tastes like a coconut.
A coconut. That's what it was. Coconut. Right in the middle. Crack that seed open. And you were eating coconut.
That's the fruit that I'm talking when I say dates. And down south, when we say dates, that's what we talking about.
That's right.
Dates.
Yeah, you crack that seed open, you got coconut.
That's
Amazing.
yeah,
Nature.
nature. That's what I mean when I say dates. Anybody in the chat know what I'm talking about? If you know what I'm talking about when I say dates with that description, put a 1 in the chat if y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yes, indeed.
Put a 1 in the chat.
Man, I tell you, we had everything growing right out the ground.
That's right.
Corn. We had corn on the cob in our yard.
We had corn too?
Yes, we did.
Wow.
And we'd go out there and we'd pop it right off. That was dinner.
Wow. Now
Before you knew it, it'd be growing again, you know?
that I didn't know. I never knew
Oh,
that.
yeah. We had snap peas. We had everything.
Mm.
Everything.
Mm. Wow.
Free food from nature.
Mm.
Real food.
Man,
Yeah.
never knew that.
Oh, yeah.
Some of everything was growing back there.
Everything.
Boy.
Everything.
Mm. So I'm gonna leave a cliffhanger for wait, let me see. Okay, there's one person who knows what I'm talking about when we say dates. Yeah. Good fruit, man. Some good fruit.
Exactly. He knows.
Yeah.
Engine underscore radio. Okay. Yes.
Oh, okay. Night Cove knows about it. He said, I got some sweet
All right.
from the international store. Man Santo say as Man Satan and Bill Gates.
Man. I gotta digress on Night Crave, man. He's coming with some good stuff.
Yeah,
Satan.
know about the dates. Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah,
a real down south person there.
yeah, and Bill Gates. Hey,
Mom,
bro, I gotta retract some of the stuff, you know. Yeah, you coming with some good stuff there, brother.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
On Satan and Bill Gates.
Wow. I couldn't have come up with a better one myself.
Right, right, right. Yeah, the yellow dates, man. You know, they just went extinct. The yellow
Yeah,
dates are
they sure
extinct.
did.
They're extinct.
Like he said, man, Satan got a hold of the seeds, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, they got a monopoly.
yeah. You know,
Man.
I wish to God I would do anything, man, to get some of those dates. You know.
Yeah, and it's all love to you, my brother.
Yeah, likewise, Night Crave.
Night Crave. You know, we're passionate, man, and you know, we sometimes we say some things, you know, just right off the cup. You know what I mean? But it's all love, you know.
It's all love.
Yeah, we're all learning on the job. You know,
Exactly.
that's what that is.
But those dates, you know, it's like I don't know. They must have sprayed something,
Yeah.
you know, over the trees, and that was one fruit that you could just go anywhere. I mean, you could go for that thing. Those date trees were for miles. They used to for
Oh
miles.
yeah.
You going
Oh yeah.
block to block to block, and you could just pick those freely.
That's true.
You didn't have to go to a
That's true.
store. You know, you could just pick a whole branch.
True.
Pick a whole branch
That's
and
what we would do. Pull the whole branch down, you know,
branch.
and it take two or three people to bring it home
Exactly, exactly.
with 1,000 dates on it.
1,000 dates, and you could just eat as
Oh
many
man.
dates as you wanted.
Oh man.
You know, you could eat as many dates as you wanted.
And eat for a long time off that one branch that we pull off of that tree.
Off that one branch. That's right.
Man.
That's right.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
My goodness.
It's really sad, man. It's really sad.
It is.
It's
It really is.
you know.
Same to you, my brother, Night Crave. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Montage.
Man, we might have to borrow that one, boy. We might have to plagiarize that one and put a copyright on it. Von Satan. Wow.
Watermelon seeds weren't good. Oh wow.
Oh wow. What a shame.
Yeah. Man.
Because they've done something to them. They've compromised them, you know?
Yeah,
The seeds are not like they used to be.
you gotta there's companies out there that you can get non-Monsanto seeds from, but they're far and few.
You got to get them while you can, you know?
Get them while you can. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're
Yeah,
far.
that's true. Can't wait around because, you know, their aim is to destroy all of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We used to have bamboo growing too. Yep.
Yes, we did. Right in my mom's backyard.
Yep.
That's right.
But what's funny is that they're not growing. They're not growing there now.
No, they're not.
They're not even there.
They're
I don't know
not.
what happened.
That's right.
You know, that's why I
I'm
said
surprised you never made a pop gun out of it, Night Crave. Yeah.
yeah,
They said silica. Silica. Oh, I never knew that.
mm,
Highest silica in the world. I never knew that.
mm,
Wow.
wow. Mm, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you put and how did we know to put China berries in the barrel? You know,
Wow.
how did we know that was your ammunition for that thing?
Mm,
And it was a very powerful weapon too.
mm,
Very powerful weapon
wow.
because the suction, the compression is what it made it powerful.
Mm,
Yeah.
Mm. Wow.
And you could see the smoke come out the barrel of it, out
Mm.
the end of the barrel after you fire it.
Mm.
If I could go in my mom's backyard, I don't think there are any back there anymore, right?
No, no, not
They
one.
just disappeared.
They just disappeared, just like the
Isn't
date
that
tree.
something?
Mm-hmm.
Man. But if
Mm-hmm.
I had one, I could make a pop gun out of it
Mm. Oh,
to
you
this
still know how
very
to make
day.
you still know how to make
Huh?
one. You still know how
Oh,
to make.
definitely.
Wow.
Absolutely. That was like second nature.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
See the stab, the trigger, not the trigger, but the trigger mechanism was a smaller piece of bamboo, like the tip end of a big one, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you would cut to make your trigger mechanism. And you'd have to find just the right one, the right size in circumference in order to make that staff that would fire that China berry out of the other end of it.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And he said he's got it growing in his backyard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That's deep.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna leave y'all with a cliffhanger for the next show, and I'm gonna share the screen. So this is on one of the other files of Dad's native DNA. And for those who just joined in, we're breaking down and decoding what they've pretty much hidden with the whole science of DNA. And just like with any other science, you have to learn how to decode these things. If people who look like us are not in these sciences, then you're not going to know how to utilize it. So whether that goes for whether it be anthropology, um, any of the sub branches of that, archaeology, you know, whether it be DNA, whether it be or just anything, history, whatever, we have to be in it in order to learn how to decode these things. We over here on this channel, we don't duck science. We dig into it and attack it. And that's the only way you're going to be taken seriously among the people in larger society and in academia. You have to be able to talk that lingo, and that's the only thing they're going to respect. And you have to learn how to break these things down,
Exactly.
be able to get into your genealogy. You can't just go by just genealogy. You can't just go by just DNA. You have to merge these sciences, cross references, just like when you're writing a book, or you're
Hmm.
doing your research for a particular topic. You have to cross reference. You have to use many disciplines, and a knowledge of history when you're looking at something like DNA, is paramount. Okay, because then you understand how to break these things down in its proper perspective. Okay, so now here we're gonna leave you with a cliffhanger because he has a whole bunch of files, and it was too much to go over in this one show. So on part 2, we're gonna get into some of the other files. Okay, and so I already talked about the Nigeria, and we already broke down. When you go back, for those who just joined, we already broke down what all of that stuff means: the Nigeria, the Akan, and all of that. And we talk about the influence of the Moors and things of that nature. And the Chickasaw, okay, that, as you can see, that comes back up again. Mississippi, the Creek, Georgia, that comes back up again. Okay, Okanichi, Saponi, okay, the Taino, all right, Amerindian, North Blue Ridge, Piedmont, okay, as you see, it's repeated again, okay, and as the doc said, that means that, it's something to be taken seriously. The Creek, Georgia Creek, is mentioned twice, okay, Haiti, Haiti, okay, we already knew about that. Okay, Uncle Butch used to always talk about that we had roots in Haiti.
That's right.
Amerindian, North Carolina. So see, we know that what they're saying is on point, because if you watch the show from the beginning, what you're looking at here lines up with our family migrations in the genealogy.
Mm-hmm.
And we read the family genealogy where the family traveled. Okay, so this is lining up perfectly. And it's lining up with the oral history. All this stuff, a lot of this stuff, not everything, because some of the stuff we're just discovering. But a lot of this stuff, when you look at where the locations, this is lining up perfectly with the oral history. Amerindian, North Carolina, Melungeon. Okay, we talked about the Melungeon earlier. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica, we knew about the Jamaica already. We knew about that in the family. Mozambique and Bantu, we already talked about that. How that ancient Bantu DNA was global. We already talked about that. The Bantu. When you talk about the Bantus, was global. The Pygmy, the Khoisan, all that was global. That's why among the tribes, they all have stories about the little people and stuff like that. All that you find out all across the globe. Cherokee, North Carolina, and Sao Tome and Principe, 75%. Fort Ancient Culture. Puripeka. It's so small. I can't even see that. I got to get closer. I got to open up the file on another screen because I can't see that.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to open that up where I can look at it bigger.
The text is very small, tiny.
Yeah, that's why I'm opening up on another window. Give me 1 second. Okay. Puripeka, Zipiajo, Mexico, and Mozambique. Okay. So this is, the doc was saying earlier, when you see that, that's where two populations had mixed at some point. Alabama, African American, we know that's a generic term.
Mm-hmm.
You can basically just say pretty much Alabama. Chickasaw we knew about. They talked about the Italy, before Bahamas, Taino, Bahamas, Abaco, Bahamas, Ojibwe. We talked about that, Ojibwe, and then it has North Poland and Abaco, Bahamas. Okay, there's a mix there. West Europe, UK and Basque. Talked about the Basque, Nigerian, China in parentheses. I might have the doc talk about that when she comes back on. Nairobi, Kenya. They talked about Kenya in the other file. Jamaica, we knew about the Jamaica, Exuma, Bahamas, and Akan. Mozambique, Western Europe, Jewish, Caucasian, Australia and Mozambique, West Europe, UK and Basque and Mozambique, Taino again. The Taino keeps coming up, okay? And Igbo, Nigeria, Mestizo, Quindio, Colombia and Ghana, Taino, Bahamas, Taino, Bahamas again. Okay, so the Taino is very strong. Chickasaw, Northern Mississippi and Akan, Cherokee, North Carolina, and Songa, Limpopo in South Africa, Taino, Bahamas, One Piece, Peru, and Mozambique. So that's a combination. Equatorial Guinea, Chickasaw, Northern Mississippi and Akan, Fulani and Ghana, Jamaica and Guinea-Bissau, Mozambique, and the list goes on. This is 2 of about 9 more files on just this one file. Yeah, so that's a cliffhanger.
That is incredible, man.
Cliffhanger.
Oh my goodness, boy.
That's a cliffhanger. And,
yeah.
And you also got on one of the files you got Garifuna in there as well.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Man, I got a lot of ingredients in me, boy.
Yeah, it's deep. It's deep.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, so we will continue this another time. And
absolutely.
Definitely been a pleasure.
Want to invite everybody back too. The brother Night Crave.
No doubt.
Yeah, come back, brother, and let me know you made that pop gun,
And hopefully he can bring some, let us see those dates.
Oh, definitely.
Sure. I would love to even just see a date again, man.
Maybe he can box some up and we send him some money, ship them up to us.
Oh man, I missed those.
Oh yeah,
man.
I would love to have some dates, man.
Yeah, man. Boy, I tell you, it brings back so many memories.
Oh my goodness,
man,
and the meat of it,
Yeah, that meat, that coconut.
Ooh, man.
Middle. Right in the middle.
My.
Yeah. But yeah, I won't hold everybody up. And I thank everybody who joined. If I didn't get a chance to shout you out, let's see. Awanasa,
cousin.
KTSO, cousin Awanasa, and KTSO, Fatou Diarra. Let's see who else.
Jeanette.
Night Crave.
Jeanette Strong Bear.
Yes, just mentioned her.
Okay.
Clo Calciferol. Okay, and James Mikey Dynasty. Let's see who else. Yeah, I think I got everybody in there. Yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, well, there was another one. Let's see. somebody else. Who am I missing? Let me go to the other looking StreamYard. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I'm missing a couple. Okay. Engine Radio.
Yeah, yeah.
Sakmato. He's Powhatan. Yeah. Welcome, family. Yeah.
Yes,
That was one that we just discovered, the Powhatan. We didn't know Powhatan.
that's right.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And Chloe Calciferol says her people are from Early County.
Early County.
Oh, he says his family is from Early County, Georgia.
Calcifero. Okay.
Um,
Yes.
thanks, bro. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, absolutely, my brother.
And Chico da Costa, thanks for showing up. And
Yes.
Elkia Mon Hotep Bay, thanks for tuning in.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Indeed.
Wild Card Indian, thanks for tuning in. Tanye 5303, thanks for tuning in. And Aquila I, thanks for tuning in. And let's see, trying to make sure I got everybody here. Who else? And yeah, Jeanette, I said already.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think we got it
Beautiful.
now. Yeah, okay. All
Had
right.
a good eclectic crew here tonight. You know.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And welcome everybody back for the next one too.
Indeed. Indeed. Yep. Thank you there, Chico da Costa.
Yes, sir.
And okay, so that's it. Oh, and Awanasa. Yep, by ancestral spirit. That's right. By ancestral,
Yes, yes, that's right. Absolutely.
for sure.
Absolutely. And what beautiful spirits, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Beautiful.
Craig Wado. Yeah.
Night crave. Yes. Stay safe, my brother. We want some of those dates, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna badger you about that.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Cha
Chata. See that?
cha
Chata. Yeah, see
cha cha.
that's another one. We didn't even know we had the Chata.
Right. Isn't that something?
Yeah, we just discovered that, you know.
Man,
Just discovered that
just discovered that.
in that native ancestry test. But
That's right. That's right.
it follows the family migration to a T.
Yes, 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 it does.
That's why I opened up reading the family genealogy. Well, that's just on, it's not even the whole family genealogy, but it's a couple of sides, you know,
Hmm.
a couple of family lines. You know,
Right, right.
as you know, we come from a very big family, so
Oh, no doubt, man.
it's impossible to cover all of our family lines. A Seminole, yeah, Seminole,
That's criminal. Yes, we
distinct.
just found that out.
Yeah, we just found that out.
But I always felt in my blood, that we were Seminole also.
Distinctly Della.
Okay, yeah, distinctly Della 999. Yes.
Yep.
Seminole. That's one of the strongest right there.
Oh man.
Oh, warriors.
Warriors.
Oh yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's history a lot of people don't know about.
That's right.
That 200-year Seminole War.
Yes.
Unconquered.
Yes, that's right.
Seminoles were the unconquered.
That's right.
Yeah. You know.
Fierce warriors.
Fierce. Yeah.
Like the fierce truth seeker. Oh yeah.
hmm That's right.
Can't, can't wait for the next one.
That's right. That's right, Engine.
Yes, indeed.
That's right, Engine.
Front line. That's right.
Yeah.
Intrepid warriors.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Engine says his people too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Amazing. Amazing.
hmm So yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'm gonna thank you again, Dad, for tuning in.
Oh, my pleasure.
And I'm gonna close out the show now. And I'll um, you could either wait backstage or you could just log out and we'll talk later.
Okay. Peace and love to everybody.
Yep. And okay, so I'm gonna put you backstage and then
Okay.
I'm gonna close the show.
All right.
All right. Okay, folks. I thank y'all for joining in. I think that was a lot that we covered. We covered a lot of ground tonight, and hope you all enjoyed the show. And until the next time, Dodada Gahan E. Sarah May. Ayo.